Raindrops keep falling on my head. If there is an ignition, we'll all be dead. Well, doing some more work to the s10, decided to do a gear swap. Going from 456s to 410s or 411s. Can't remember what exact ratio are, but I got a new nitrous kit to put on it. Right now I just got it tore up. Be hard to see back in here in the dark, but that's the part. And I need to go get the different center section and install it. Well, I managed to get the one that's going in the truck over here. It sucks picking these heavy ass things up to stick in the rear end, but you can see this case is a little beefier than the one that's in it. The one that was in it was a factory forward nodular. This is an all-star case. And since I was thinking about going to a Turbo 400 with a trans brake, it wouldn't hurt to stick a center section with a little beefier caps in the truck. Here's the wear pattern. That's the coast side, about right in the middle. Dry side, you kind of see it there's a little hair towards the toe, which is kind of how you want anyways, because it'll spread out over the whole tooth under power. And remember my video, my ting-a-ting-ting video. This is a new yoke. I spot welded it there and there. Originally this was going to be going in my Malibu drag car, which I've never ever showed on the channel, but eventually I will. This is I guess I'll tell you a little bit about it. Let's see. Oh, this one has stamped on it. Yeah, there it is. This is the 3062 case. The one in it was the factory 2891 case. I bought a 3 1/4 diameter bearing for the Malibu. Other than that, this should be ready to go back in. I need to smear some silicone around it up in there, and then I'll place this up in here and shove the axles back in. We'll be done, and that's all I'm going to show. Try to keep this video nice and short. Seems like I do long ones. Not really getting the views on them, so I'll just stick to some short ones. Well, some time has passed since last time I was showing what I was doing. It's starting to get dark. Got the brakes on, drums on, dry shafts in, everything's tightened down, full of oil. Now I just need to go get my new slicks that I bought for it. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but I had 29.5, 11.5s on it. I went to 28, 10.5. That's why I went up in the gear ratio. So I'm going to go grab those and install them and let it down on the ground and see how it sits. I might have to mess with the springs. I was thinking about putting some cow tracks on here or try to make something similar to them. Maybe change leafs. I haven't decided yet. I do have some factory 3 leafers, which this pickup originally had in it. These are 4 leafers made in a 3 leaf. That's the second leaf out of a factory 3 leafer. That's the main out of a 4 leafer. It is thinner. I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. We might go to the track and try out what I did here to see what it does before I do anything else. Slicks are on. Do not have the right lug nuts. They're in the cab. I'm gonna let it down and grab them, but you can see what size they are. A little shorter. They actually lay out better from side to side, because those 29.5, 11.5 should have really been on a 12-inch rim. These are 10-inch rims, and these are recommended for 10-inch rim, which they look good to me. Anyways, I'll let it down here and see what it looks like. Okay. Let her let down on the ground. See what it looks like with the slick in there. I like the way it looks. Where the damn tires kind of bulged out. The truck kind of sat like a plow. Now it sits more level. And like I say, hopefully those will work a little better than the other ones, being they lay out a little better from sidewall to sidewall. But that should do it for now. I'll go for a drive here, but I'll put my other tires back on to see what it acts like. It's rain tomorrow, so I don't know if that'll happen or not. Draining the fuel out of the S10. A little more in there than I thought there was. I'm wasting a little bit, but in your 5 gallon, and that one's getting almost full. I didn't think there's that much fuel in there. Good thing it don't smoke. And those cords aren't plugged in either. Yeah. Raindrops keep falling on my head. If there is an ignition, we'll all be dead. And dang, I figured it'd be full. They're done draining by now. I might have to go find me another bucket. I think there's that much fuel in it. Oh, it's been a while since I drove it. Well, it appears that we've drained all the fuel out. Just a few little drippity drops coming out of there. There's more fuel in there than I thought there was, but that's some pretty blue fuel. High octane racing fuel. Should have drained it in this bucket. Cam 2 bucket, but that's tractor hydraulic fluid back in there. But oh, he's running Cam 2, Cam 2. I never had any Cam 2, I couldn't afford it. Used to run some B32, but I just think that was the guy who used to sell it. He called it that. I think it was just airplane fuel. I don't know if there's actually a B32 fuel or not, but that sounds like a airplane bomber number to me. Yeah, well, I need to go find a couple jugs, dump that in, and need to get back to hooking up my electric fuel pump. I'm running a dedicated fuel line to the front for my nitrous. That new nitrous kit I bought. Yeah, it's a good thing I took that off. There's a bunch of crud down there, and the bad part is I cleaned some of it out before I started filming this, but look at the filter that was in it. Look how frickin' nasty it is. Like, where in the hell did all that crap come from? It is nasty. Luckily I got another filter, but that's just gotta be crud coming out of like gas jugs or something. I don't know where else it come from, but I always strain the gas before I dumped it in with a paint filter. Just usually take a funnel and a paint strainer and strain the fuel, and that was what I used after I dumped it out of the buckets into some jugs. I know the one had some paint in it, that one there, but that's nasty. Well, that ain't such a big deal, but this is nasty. Good thing I took that off there. You need a plugged up fuel filter. It causes you all sorts of weird problems. I guess it was doing its job, so that's a plus. I'll have to clean that out. Got looking down in there, and that water kind of left some pits down inside there, and that pit there is kind of deep. So what I got thinking of doing is I'll drill a hole there and stick a little plug down in there, a little brass plug. That way I can drain that out at the bottom, and if there is any water in there, it should go out that hole. In other words, you gotta take this whole damn thing off. It gets a little bit of moisture down in there. So apparently it got some moisture in there. I can't remember how long that's been on there, but probably should have drained it over the winter. Probably should just take these off and drain them, but that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you're lazy, I guess, or I'm lazy, or somebody's lazy. Anyways, I'm gonna drill that hole, or drill a hole there where that pit's kind of deep. Put a plug in it. Well, I got the hole drilled out and the little brass plug in it. If you look down in there, I don't know if it'll focus on it, but I got it about flush with the bottom so it doesn't stick up and bother the filter any. I thought that pit was kind of deep, but this stuff's pretty thick. It's probably thicker than that. Oh well, it's got a drain in it now, so if it does get any moisture in it, or I think it has any moisture, I can take that plug out and let it run just a little bit. I got it all hooked up and I'm flushing the fuel line right now. It ran about 5 gallons of gas through it. It's the greatest light, but should be enough fuel to flush the system out. You can hear the fuel pump running back here. Getting we're almost out of fuel down in there. It's up there running. Just better get ready to shut it off here. As soon as she runs out of fuel. Lighting ain't very good in here, but still pumping. About 4 gallons, I think that's what I dumped in the fuel cell. It's kind of like she just gave out. Getting close anyways. Yep. There, shut her off. I don't want to run it without any fuel in it too long. That should be good to get her hooked up. Need to swap out my nitrous kit for my new one. Hook the line up there and we'll be in business. Okay, got the nitrous kit installed, or actually swapped over. Is that an NOS kit? And I got a Nitrous Express mainline kit. It's adjustable. That was on before, just the power shot kit. It wasn't adjustable. Let's see. Which is in here, sitting in the seat. Nothing wrong with it, just there's 125 shots if it's even that. Didn't really make much of a difference. So I also came up with a correct C41 option heater control unit for my pickup, so now I won't have an empty hole in the dash, which that was super tough to find. Took me about, oh geez, since I stuck the truck together to find this, which you can see it's only got heat, or not heat, but frost and heater, hot and cold. No vents in the dash, it does not have vents in it, so this is all cable driven. You can see a cable there, you can see a cable there. Tough to find. Another thing too is this gasket it came with, that nitrous kit. These are some cheesy gaskets. Kind of floppy, weird material film stuff. So I'm not going to use, that just doesn't feel right.